Listen up. Catherine, Princess of Wales, is about to physically stand beside King Charles at the next massive Windsor Castle reception, completely icing out Queen Camilla from the opening frame. But the most cutthroat detail isn't the physical takeover itself. It's 4 buried words at the bottom of a classified palace planning brief that explicitly admit the monarchy is officially grading Catherine's performance and deciding Camilla's ultimate fate. This isn't a scheduling quirk. It's a ruthless, high-stakes test, and Camilla is absolutely terrified. Make sure you subscribe to Regalvora right now so you don't miss a single second of this royal warfare. Let's rip into the actual timeline, because the official palace spin is straight garbage. The next major reception inside Windsor Castle's state apartments goes down on Thursday, October 1st, 2026. The opening greeting line? Charles first, Catherine second, William third, Camilla? Pushed to the back, scheduled to join the program later. On paper, it looks like a minor operational tweak, but in reality, it's a calculated, blood-in-the-water strike. The palace knows exactly what that resulting photograph screams to the globe. Charles, Catherine, William. No Camilla in sight. That image alone forces the public to stare directly at the future of the crown. You don't need to strip Camilla's title or officially crown Catherine. That single photograph executes the psychological takeover instantly, before the palace PR machine can even boot up. This entire operation was birthed at Balmoral Castle in Scotland on Tuesday, August 18th, right around 4:30 p.m. A tight, closed-door planning session was hashing out the autumn Windsor reception. A 3-page brief was on the table. Standard protocol trash. Timings, rooms, guest movement, until the receiving order dropped like a bomb. Charles, Catherine, William, Camilla relegated to the background. Catherine wasn't just attending, she was seizing the absolute principal female hosting position directly beside the king. William has been driving this battering ram for months. His argument is bulletproof. Look at the American state visit in September 2025. William and Catherine intercepted the President and First Lady first. March 2026, Nigerian state visit, same exact playbook. They handled the heavy lifting, absorbed the diplomatic heat, and commanded the cameras. William looked his father in the eye and demanded an end to the warm-ups. Why treat his wife like a glorified stand-in? She already runs the show. But Windsor on October 1st is an entirely different beast. Previously, they greeted VIPs and handed the spotlight back. This new setup permanently bolts Catherine shoulder to shoulder with the sovereign. King Charles instantly saw the trap. During that Balmoral showdown, he point-blank asked if sidelining Camilla would spark a massive media explosion. Dead silence in the room. Even Sir Clive Alderton, the king's ruthless right hand, froze. Then William pulled the trigger. He told his father this wasn't about stripping Camilla's title. It was about hardwiring Catherine for the throne right now. When William takes the crown, there are no training wheels. Presidents will land, diplomats will swarm, and Catherine must dominate the floor immediately. The training ends today, while Charles is still breathing. Charles stared at the draft, possessed the ultimate authority to kill the plan, and deliberately chose not to. He greenlit the execution. William won the room, but Catherine didn't even know yet. When William brought the victory back to Catherine on Wednesday, August 19th, there was absolutely zero celebration. He dropped the revised Windsor blueprint in her lap, brutally explaining she would be standing entirely in Camilla's territory. Catherine's brain immediately calculated the collateral damage. She knew exactly how lethal that opening photograph would be. Her immediate instinct? Retreat. She pushed to slow the operation down, begging to grant Camilla a softer landing so the Queen wouldn't feel publicly castrated in front of the global cameras. But William shut that down with ruthless precision. He flat out refused to let his wife play small anymore. He warned her that if she kept backing down to protect other people's fragile egos, the royal firm would never let her command the front lines. This was about armoring her for the inevitable day he becomes king. The time for shrinking into the background was officially over. Meanwhile, Camilla was walking blindly into a massive buzzsaw. She wasn't in that Balmoral war room. By Thursday, August 20th, the finalized Windsor folder landed on her desk. She was scanning standard wardrobe and timing notes when she hit a brick wall. Charles, Catherine, William. Her name was completely wiped from the opening lineup. The silence in her office was deafening when she asked, "Where's my name?" The administrative staff gave her a weak, corporate spin about Catherine taking on greater responsibility. But Camilla isn't stupid. She saw it for exactly what it was, a blatant, humiliating demotion. It didn't matter that she was technically still queen on paper. The cameras would capture Charles and Catherine running the empire. Millions of people would witness the changing of the guard in real time, scrolling on their phones before any pathetic palace press release could do damage control. Furious, Camilla cornered Charles at Burke Hall later that night. She was smart. She didn't attack Catherine directly. Instead, she attacked the optics. She warned Charles that the media would frame this as her permanent replacement. Charles tried to play dumb, claiming it was just an operational shift. Then Camilla interrogated him. Did William demand this? Charles admitted yes. Did Catherine demand this? No. That single admission completely crushed Camilla's leverage. She couldn't paint Catherine as a scheming villain because Catherine was the only one trying to hit the brakes. Desperate to survive the PR slaughter, Camilla pitched a tactical compromise. Put all 4 senior royals in the exact same receiving line. Charles in the center, Camilla beside him, William and Catherine right there with them. On paper, it looked like a bulletproof display of family unity. Nobody gets cut out, nobody looks weak. But William saw straight through the Trojan horse. He forcefully blocked it. He didn't want Catherine protected or shielded by a crowd. He wanted her isolated in the fire. He wanted a raw, undeniable test of her solitary power beside the sovereign. Charles was backed into a corner, forced to pick a side. In a devastating blow to his own wife, Charles sided with his heir. The 4-person safety net was shredded to pieces. Camilla would retain her empty title and join later, but Catherine would unequivocally own the opening frame. The trap was set, but the most terrifying weapon was still hidden at the bottom of the Windsor briefing file. The most terrifying element of this entire power struggle wasn't the receiving order. It was a single, explosive sentence buried at the absolute bottom of the Windsor brief. 4 words that carry enough radioactive weight to destroy Camilla's future. Reviewed following the autumn reception. Camilla understood the threat instantly. This wasn't a temporary, one-off favor for William's wife. This was a calculated, formal evaluation. The palace explicitly intends to judge Catherine's performance, analyze the global reaction, and decide if this brutal new hierarchy becomes the permanent gold standard. There is zero guarantee Camilla ever gets her spot back. If Catherine crushes this test, the Queen's responsibilities will be slowly, methodically stripped away and handed to the Princess of Wales, leaving Camilla with nothing but an empty title and a shattered ego. Now, the entire royal machine is operating in overdrive, prepping for Thursday, October 1st, 2026. Windsor Castle is about to become a psychological battleground. The palace has to manufacture an evening that looks totally effortless, even though it's sitting on a mountain of absolute tension. Every micro detail is being policed. The distance between Charles and Catherine, the exact second guests approach, the subjects of their conversations. Catherine cannot afford a single misstep. She must project ultimate dominance and grace, completely unbothered by the fact that she has usurped the Queen's physical territory. Charles must give her enough space to prove she can command the room alone, while William watches his masterstroke unfold. And then, much later, Camilla will be forced to walk into a room where the history-making photographs have already been snapped without her. If Catherine walks in and cracks under the unimaginable pressure, if she looks awkward, hesitant, or out of her depth, the old guard wins. The palace will instantly revert to the safe, comfortable setup with Camilla at the front. But if Catherine steps up to King Charles's side and owns that room, if she looks like she was born for the sovereign position and the global audience buys it instantly, Windsor is going to have a massive problem on its hands. The question will no longer be whether Catherine is ready. The world will demand to know why she isn't running the whole show already. October 1st is the point of no return. The doors open. Charles steps forward. Catherine takes the ultimate spot. William locks it down. And the cameras capture the exact moment the British monarchy irreversibly shifts its power dynamics. Royal watchers, it's time to lay it all on the line. If Catherine steps into that Windsor state apartment and flawlessly executes this brutal test, Should the palace permanently strip Camilla of that frontline position and hand it to Catherine for good? Yes or no? Drop your absolute unfiltered verdict in the comments below right now. And if you know Catherine has earned the right to seize the throne's responsibilities, do not back her silently. Smash that like button, subscribe to Regalvora immediately, and share this video with anyone addicted to royal warfare. The ultimate judgment doesn't happen on October 1st. It happens in the ruthless review afterward. Stay locked on Crown Watch, because next time, we're exposing exactly who gets the power to grade Catherine's performance, and the one devastating question Camilla is begging to have answered.